welcome to Beyond Focus TV. My name is Angie Daniel. I am the hostess of the show. On tonight's show, we have with us two representatives from WIADCA, which is the West Indian American Day Carnival Association. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, I'll introduce them to you so they can tell us all about our big Labor Day parade. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. If this is your first time watching, we are here every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. on Channel 68 on Cablevision, and you can follow all the other channels on your listing. Before I took a break, I did mention to you I was going to introduce to you two of our guests that are here from WIADCA, and it's Mr. Thomas Bailey and Miss Jean Alexander. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice, thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for being here. Usually when we start our show, I'll ask my guests to have a little introduction to tell the community a little bit about themselves. So I will ask you guys to do the same. I'm not sure which one of you want to start first, but welcome to tell us a little bit about yourselves.
President.
I thought it was ladies first.
Since you're the only one here, so we'll let it be men first.
Okay. Like you said, my name is Thomas Bailey. I have been a member of the organization for just around 24 years. Originally came from Trinidad, where I worked as an education officer there, a teacher really.
Okay.
Came here and went into Wall Street, got a job at Merrill Lynch, and
Nice.
I am retired now, working harder than I worked when I was working, but this basically is what it's all about with me. I joined the organization because I enjoyed working with these community organizations, doing what I can do for my community. And it has been a lot of fun. And 2013 is right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
And I'm prepared more than ever to handle
it. And Miss Alexander?
Okay, as you know, my name is Jean Alexander. I am also from Trinidad and Tobago. I've been here for 42 years and 36 years with the organization. I'm a mother and grandmother, and I guess my dedication to West Indian Day Carnival is my way of keeping in touch and making sure that our culture continues. I'm also involved in the community through the Caribbean American Center of New York. It's a non-profit organization that provides free services to the community.
I'm very aware of the your second organization. We are fortunate enough to have met a couple of people from different organizations so far, and one of them is the Center for Caribbean. Interestingly enough, because I think when people hear about the carnival organizations, we can think about it as Eastern Parkway, right? Shoot, and people running around. So I know that there's an organization on the back of it. Can you tell us a little bit about what the organization stands for and why was it created?
Well, I wasn't there in the beginning when it was created. I understand from 1930s, the early 1930s, it was some Caribbean nationals who were actually yearning to go down to the Caribbean islands for Carnival. And since in those days it was very expensive, they decided to do something about it right here in New York. The majority lived in Harlem, and they started having indoor parties that blossomed into huge costume balls. The real costume balls that would have been in the Caribbean, in the rich aristocracy, and where people of that stature and they kind of replicated that atmosphere here in Harlem, in the Audubon, the Savoy, those Renaissance ballrooms, until it got so big that all these ballrooms together could not keep the flow of people and the crowds, because more and more Caribbean islanders who were living in Harlem at the time took part in it, and it became evident that they had to bring it outdoors. The same woman, the Trinidadian woman by the name of Jessie Waddle, she and her Trinidadian and other islander friends, they applied for and got the first permit to bring it out on Lenox Avenue in the mid-1940s. So that is the beginning of Carnival as we know Carnival now. But this Carnival that we have in Brooklyn now, it has grown by leaps and bounds from what it used to be in the very beginning.
Okay. So are you saying the association in itself started with the Harlem Association, or you created it for here?
No, the Harlem part of it is the root. When it stopped in Harlem in the early 60s, the same people who were involved with it, some of them, the costume makers like Rufus Goring, another Trinidadian, Carlos Lizama, they took part in Carnival in Harlem. When it stopped in Harlem because of some kind of disturbance, they brought it, Mr. Goring brought it to Brooklyn, but he could not navigate the bureaucracy, and he got Mr. Lizama to help him. The Brooklyn part just grew again, from a couple hundred people to what you see there.
Okay, which is a whole lot.
Yeah.
We were talking about tradition. I'm really big on understanding who we are as a people and what makes us different, and from different aspects of the country, you know, from our background. Like the Jamaicans have their own different day carnivals, Haitians have theirs, Trinidadian have theirs. So bringing all of these ideas together, why was it necessary for us to have a carnival in New York? Where, like that one day, why was it necessary for us to have that one day here?
I would think in Trinidad, like in most of the other islands, the carnival is at the end of, just before Lent. Okay. But that's the reason they had the indoor balls, because that was done in the Lenten time.
Okay.
However, coming out on the streets, you really can't play mass on the streets anywhere in the winter time. So it was moved to the summertime, and Labor Day is the last holiday in the year. So that's how come it was chosen. It's a holiday, and it gave people a chance to play mass and not having to think about going to work. They have a long weekend.
They have a long weekend too. Part of history, the whole enslavement idea, how is it related to Carnival?
Well, I don't know if you know a little bit about the Carnival in the islands. I can only tell you what I read about the Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago. After the end of slavery, before slavery
was ended,
the aristocracy, the English, the Spanish, the French, they had these lavish celebrations, but it did not involve the slaves. But as soon as slavery ended, the slaves were now free to mimic their masters. And that is part of the old mass. We have what you call old mass on Monday mornings, Juve.
I've never it's very interesting that you're mentioning this as part of it, because what I understand as Juve is totally different from what it is in history. Like, because I don't really ever attend like, you know, the whole Eastern Parkway phenomenon atmosphere. But now you're telling me this Juve as history. We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, you have to define Juve to me, what it means and what it entails in history. Well, we're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. We are here with Miss Jean Alexander and Mr. Thomas Bailey from Wiadka. We are having a conversation about Juve. Now, you were telling me exactly what Juve means. And I said to you earlier, mentioning that for me, Juve is wild. Like anything goes type of a world, right? I grew up, of course, I'm Haitian descent. I grew up in Haiti where religiously you don't mix those two things. So can you explain to me the whole Juve aspect, and I'll tell you my history of that idea.
All right, I am not an expert on Juve. All I can tell you what I know from Juve, it is the beginning of Carnival, the celebration. It's the breaking of dawn, where all the goblins so to speak, come out.
See, that's that's how we see it.
Before it gets daylight. Okay.
So in another word, it's like a celebration of the spirits. It's
basically.
Right.
Got it.
And it has grown and kind of gotten out of hand.
I would say.
From then to now.
Okay.
What happens in Juve now, I couldn't tell you because I don't have the time to go to attend it. We're busy preparing for the Labor Day Carnival itself.
So it's interesting because if people understand, I don't know if anybody have seen the crowd that comes after Juve, like where they throw the powder on each other. So it's the whole Gosling. You understand, like, because sometimes people do things and not understand the history behind it. So seeing people doing that, it's the whole ghost, spiritual idea of it. You
that's
understand?
The atmosphere
aspect of it. So they don't really. I wouldn't say they don't know because I don't know what people who have attended it understand, but my interesting aspect of it is now I got it because they're mimicking part of history.
It is.
And they're just following it.
Yeah.
You were saying, Mr. Thomas?
No, what I was saying is it really, at the end of slavery, as Jean probably mentioned earlier on, where the slaves were given their freedom and they chose to mimic their slave owners and stuff. I mean, they were so overwhelmed and they just went crazy, doing everything. But if you go to Trinidad to see what Juve is all about,
is it totally different than what we do here?
In some ways, yes. There's more organization to it. Where you have the actual slave owners and stuff. It is dramatized.
It's dramatized. Okay.
And it leads right into.
So it's like a play.
Yes, that's stuff. But it's very interesting.
And I remember when I was younger in Haiti, so before Carnival started, there was a mass. You'd go to a church and then it'll start the day. We were never allowed to attend. Personally, my father would just have killed us. But it was, you knew of these because you would attend the school. And then so there was a mass and then people would start Carnival season. But here, I only knew of the one day. It's when I'm reading about the organization, and then I know that you guys start the whole Carnival season on Thursday to Monday. Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
We have what you call the 4 days before Labor Day, starting at the back of the Brooklyn Museum on Thursday, Friday during the day at night, Saturday during the day at night, Sunday, and then Monday on Labor Day, which, as you said, most people know of that. The back of the museum events, that is where our organization is to promote and cultivate the culture of our Caribbean people. That at the back of the museum gives the opportunity to the young people and the other talented folks to come and perform and perfect their talents. So it starts on Thursday. This year is Caribbean Woodstock. Where a majority of the islands, their artists are given a chance to perform at the back of the Brooklyn Museum on stage, along with the costume competitions. Then Friday during the day, it's Stay in School Youth Talent Show for kids, free. Then Friday night is the Brass Festival with the big bands, Marshall Montano, Crossfire, those type of bands.
So where's that being held at? It's still
all at the back of the museum. Everything.
Saturday during the day is the Junior Carnival on the streets, and that's
like with the little kids.
The kids,
It's huge.
Yeah, I've
Over
seen them.
250,000 people follow that carnival into the back of the museum. Of course, not all of them could go into the back there.
So do they have floats and
The kids,
for the kids,
the
or
kids
do
have
they
their,
just walk around?
no, they have their own floats. Each band, they have bands just as the adults.
Okay.
Yeah, the kids have their own bands.
But they are not allowed to have trucks.
Trucks, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no
No
mobile,
regular-
nothing mobile.
Okay.
No mobile vehicles are allowed with the kids
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons.
You know.
And Saturday night is the Steel Band Panorama competition. This year, for the first time, our guest artist band is from NYU and New York universities. They have a
Steel orchestra,
Yes.
yeah.
and they will be opening the show. Really nice.
It starts from what time to what time?
From
start
8
at-
o'clock,
Yeah, we start at 7 because of
the number of bands.
yes, the
Right.
number. We start at
Okay.
7.
And then Sunday is the Marche Gras, which is, we call it what? Fat.
Fat
Sunday.
Sunday.
Fat
yeah,
Sunday,
Fat
yes,
Sunday.
Fat Sunday.
And Monday, of course, is Labor Day.
Okay.
We don't participate in Juve.
Okay.
That's not part of.
Oh, so that's
our-
like
It's not part of
it's
our
not part-
programming.
but it's just something that is done.
Another-
with
Yes,
history,
yes.
so
There's another
everybody-
another organization is responsible for taking care of the Juve celebration.
Okay.
So
It's interesting because I just want to kind of like mention a couple of things. I would like for the public to understand the importance of rule and regulations. And we complain a whole lot. When I say we, I mean like as community, that the police department, the mayor, the this and the that is reducing the time that we have available to us to be on the parkway. Can you elaborate more on the regulations that have to be followed state-wise, city-wise, and with the organization-wise? Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can answer that. In the years gone by, Carnival went up until midnight, but under the cloak of darkness. In those days,
Yes.
people were allowed to drink alcohol on the parkway.
Yeah.
There used to be so many problems.
Yes.
The hospitals can bear witness to that. Okay, so they cut down the time from midnight till 8 o'clock. It still was a little dark. The city cut it down again. No, we offered to make sure and end it at 6.
Okay.
Thinking, well, if they have a little bit extra flow time, maybe 7, the police usually let us go till 7. But there were still other issues taking place at the same time. One of them was, I think 2 or 3 years ago, because of the budget stipulations for the city agencies, they had to cut the staff from NYPD.
Okay.
That would have gone past 7,
6,
8
yeah.
o'clock.
Okay.
And the number of blocks we could go.
Yeah, because I know you guys turn on Bedford now.
no, we
I
still,
know
we
of these things.
we still
People
go up.
complain.
No, we still go up to Grand Army Plaza.
Okay.
But what they have been doing, they have been diverting non-costume bands.
Yes.
Non-costume bands have been diverted.
It's so interesting that you mentioned that. I don't want to cut you off, but I have to take a break, right?
Okay.
We are going to talk about the non-costume bands because I think I represent a whole of the non-costume bands, and then we need to talk about them in a quick question. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. We are here with 2 representatives from WIADCA, the organization that is in charge of Labor Day party. Like, I want to say Labor Day celebration, the whole carnival thing. Earlier on, we were talking about rules and regulations, and I really want to continue on that because this is our last session. I just want you to make your point, and then we continue with what I specifically want to say about that. Because I want to defend that part.
In terms of the rules and regulations that govern the Carnival celebrations, one has to be conscious of security.
Yes.
Especially 2013.
Yes.
I mean, this day and age, everything happens.
Yes.
Boston, you know.
Yeah.
And
we are not exempt.
we're not exempt. That's about it. NYPD has been very supportive of us. Whatever we do, they are part and parcel of they play a major role in the provision of the security, plus our private security that we also hire. And now, over the years, the times have been cut from midnight to, we talk in terms now, we're going to 6 o'clock. And even at 6 o'clock, because of the large crowds that come along the parkway, we are forced in many instances to divert bands that are non-costume so that we get the costume bands to flow to get to the reviewing stand so they could be judged.
Okay.
Right?
So I want to get this, because we don't have a lot of time. I want to really get people to understand, if you don't have a costume, you cannot walk on the parkway.
You can walk on the parkway, but you cannot be judged.
You cannot be judged.
Because it's a competition.
All right.
Right? And the bands that, with the costumes, they need to get past the reviewing stand so they can be judged.
Okay.
So what we are forced to do is to, when we get to Bedford, we divert the non-costume bands.
So if you have no costume, your band have no costume, you turn on Bedford.
We turn them off on Bedford.
The one that have costumes, they go
all the way up to the Brooklyn Museum, and they get judged, and we move on from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you guys say the theme is Woodstock. What should I expect? Because it's going to be my first year, and I'm going to be on a float because I'm not walking.
The theme is not Woodstock.
Our theme this year is celebrate our Caribbean pride and culture.
Okay.
That's our theme. The show, the Thursday night program is termed Woodstock.
Woodstock. Oh, that's the Woodstock.
The Thursday night, Caribbean Woodstock.
Okay.
And the reason for that is we have involved almost every Caribbean island in that program.
Okay.
Artists from each of the Caribbean if you look at the flyer, you would see Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, name it, we all have artists participating in that show. That's why it is termed the Caribbean Woodstock.
Okay.
You know? And this is in addition to the kings and queens of the old mass competition, individual competition, all mass competition. So that is Thursday night.
That's Thursday night.
That's Thursday night.
So it's a whole celebration from Thursday to Monday.
Yes, yes.
If people needed to get in touch with you and then participate, like for example, as vendors or as band members, participant or floaters, or if they wanted to just buy a costume, where can they reach you guys at?
Well, there are mass bands addresses that are available on our website, which they can access to get whatever information they need, or they can call the office 718-467-1797, 10 in the morning to 5 in the evening, or beyond 5 o'clock. The bands, the mass camps, there's a complete list on the site where the bands are located, what they are portraying, their portrayal for Carnival would be on the site. So any information they need, they call us, we can supply the information to them.
Can I say one thing? Sure. Vending has started, and they can call the same number, 718-467-1797 for the vending times and whatever else. The application is also on the website, and I might add, in a week, we would be unveiling our brand new website that is supposed to be mind-blowing.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. I actually like the website that you have now. I mean, I was on it.
Well, you could imagine what
it's
still been around.
Okay. I don't like to say last word, but I think within every aspect of life, within history or things that are happening right now, what would be the one thing you would want someone to get out of the whole 4-day event? Or what would be the one thing you would want a person from a different culture to get out of this event?
That they would see and experience our tradition and our culture and go back to wherever they're from, feeling satisfied and wanting to come back again to enjoy it.
Okay. You, Mr. Bailey?
Well, I mean, basically, this is what we have come to gain an experience, and it's fulfilling. So we do hope that when they do come, they would absorb and benefit from whatever they have seen or taken for in their light. And we are open to volunteers because, I mean, we need volunteers to assist us. Okay. The website, the volunteer application forms are there.
What would you need volunteers for? Can you tell me like
everything? I mean, we, over the last year or two, we have been moving in the direction of 365, 24. Yes. WIADCA has ceased being a one activity organization. Yes. We try to get involved in other activities to satisfy our community needs. And this is basically, this is where we're heading. Yeah. And we need help. Nobody's being paid, you know.
I know.
You know.
We talked about that.
Yeah. Only we had a grand family day yesterday. Yeah. First time. Yeah. You know, it was a wonderful. It was a success.
It was a success.
And there are many other activities we have been planning, you know, but we need help. Okay. Physically, financially, and otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, this is the end of our session. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for sharing with us. I am hoping to I'm going to be on a float. I already know that. This is, you know, I know I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to try to see if I can attend Thursday night. But yeah.
Just let us know. Just let us know.
I will definitely let you know. Thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. I hope to see you on the Parkway. Actually, 4 days event. Let's just make sure we have fun there. I will see you next Tuesday, same place, same time. Bye-bye.